49 Basic Rules of Man. Every human being must ask himself for, search for and find his own meaning of life, and must want to use it, the meaning of life, for the improvement of his life and actions. Every human being must be himself and be his own guiding personality, who therefore develops his own resounding ideas and pursues and realizes them. Every human being must let his own reason and his own understanding be exercised in such a way that he demands from himself that which is best and the most salutary, and that he forms himself according to his own will, and that he obeys the demands of his own needs in his own free way. Every human being must form himself in such a way that he always is himself, has originally own, unique, intensive experiences, and that he never lets himself be enslaved or subjugated in any other way and, consequently, preserves his internal and external freedom in every respect, in his thoughts and feelings as well as in his decisions, views, opinions, emotions, and actions, etc. Every human being must show towards himself the friendliness and love that is necessary for him, and must feel safe and secure within himself as well as being honest towards himself in such a way that he may understand his own thoughts, feelings, emotions, actions, and opinions, etc. Every human being must direct his thoughts, feelings, ideas, needs and actions etc. in such a way that he feels capable for high-reaching goals that, however, shall always be in accordance with his abilities and possibilities and, therefore, shall not be exaggerated and too highly elevated. Every human being shall see and know himself as he really is, therefore, he shall not think of himself as a perfect world, for this is not possible for any person because each one must learn and, consequently, is exposed to mistakes and imperfection. Therefore, it is not possible that everything is clear within the human being, and that everything is right and that he is better than his fellow human being. Every human being must always be fully aware that there are consciousness-related differences between each human being. Consequently, no one can be exactly equal in intelligence to another. But this does not entitle anyone to see their fellow human beings as blind and to classify them as a human being on a lower level. This entitlement also does not exist if fellow human beings are even laboring under a religion or sect, because they are all the same human beings who are within the creative natural laws of life and evolutionary learning like all the others. Every human being by himself shall endeavor, through his own efforts, to form and fulfill his existence and existential duties in all forms of justice, honesty, reason, and intention etc., namely in the spheres of consciousness, character, virtue, thoughts, feelings, and the psyche. In this way the human being shall create a firm motivation for rising within himself, without humbling himself in any way, not even in a religious or sectarian manner. Every human being shall not use neither his idealism for unworthy nor unprovable and questionable things, but shall direct his idealism especially towards recognizing within himself his own true being, and to improve, complete and realize it outwardly, because the true being is the actual nature of everything that is directed towards progress and success, and that, therefore, is the source of the forming of life. Every human being shall not believe in anything, but shall always search for the basic truth, which he can only find within himself if he searches and thinks about everything, and by using his reason, his understanding, and his sound logic. Thus, the human being may find the truth only within himself, but only if he is free of any belief in things he can never prove within himself. Belief is not proof, but simply something that is assumed to be kind, desirable and right, without any provable content of truth. Consequently, a belief can never be cogent because of the fact that the provable truth is missing. Every human being can never find the real truth for which he searches for years or an entire life if he simply surrenders to a belief and does not explore and recognize the factual truth through logic, understanding and reason within himself, so as to implement and comply with it through his life and lifestyle. Every human being shall see as his highest goal to progressively mold and implement his knowledge, his ability, his true love, his real happiness, his capabilities, and opportunities as well as his wisdom and humanity in such a way that he can lead a truly evolutionary and just, humane life and can also assist the fellow human beings in such a way. Every human being's prime concern shall be to pay his own attention on himself, i.e. to his personality, his character, his virtues, thoughts, feelings, and actions, in order to align everything in such a way that all things are right, and do not chase misleading goals which end in a belief in unreal things. Every human being shall manage his income and assets in a reasonable manner and shall not waste them on unreal, belief-related things, for each person shall do what's right and take care of himself if the opportunity and existence are available to him, so he does not unjustly become a burden on the fellow human beings and he does not behave as a parasite. Every human being shall always live in the present, but he shall look into the future and care for its shaping, while also considering the past and learning from it, in order to achieve success, realizations, and progress. Every human being needs rest and peace, and consequently, he also needs his quiet hours and shall not be constantly busy, neither when alone, nor when in the company of his fellow human beings, the family, or in communities. Every human being needs times of leisure because only through this is he able to compose and recover himself. However, leisure time shall always be in appropriate amounts and not be exaggerated, so as not to become a burden to, and an annoying influence on one's own thoughts and feelings, nor to his fellow human beings. Every human being shall at all times pay heed and forever searching for the truth only, and never for a doctrine of salvation because truly there is no such thing, neither in a philosophical, religious, secular, sectarian or other ideological direction, nor can a doctrine of salvation be found in science. A doctrine of salvation is always a belief-related deception, or at least charlatanry or criminal profit-making. In truth, the only thing that always counts is reality, which is based on the use of sound understanding and reason as well as on real logic. Every human being shall always be frank and honest towards his fellow human beings, and he shall never presume, whatever may be the reasons, to control his fellow human beings in such a way that it results in harm to them. This shall be the case both in the family as well as in every community, in order that neither backbiting nor discrimination, disadvantage, or other wrongdoings occur. Every human being shall pay heed to his internal and external freedom and shall never bind himself to any things from which he may not be able to detach himself anymore, or things that frighten him of the step towards freedom, be it concerning purely material things and values or a human relationship or concerning a family or a community of any kind. Every human being shall be intent on never accepting and understanding any doctrines of a political, philosophical, sectarian, secular, scientific, religious, or other ideological form as true truth or as real, true knowledge, etc., for truly each teaching shall be examined down to the last detail because only in this way the effective truth can be grasped and reality experienced. Every human being must always be clearly aware that the life he lives, no matter how many years it may have lasted, has never been pointless or senseless. Consequently, nothing has been lost in the life lived because each second lived has surely fulfilled its intentionality and brought about evolutionary success, even if the result may only have been minimal. Every human being shall always be of clear and reasonable senses and shall not expose himself to the constant influences of any teachings through which the possibility of one's own, independent, thinking, pondering, reasoning, ascertaining, and understanding is taken away. If the human being wants to occupy himself with some things or a teaching, he must always think about the possibility of finding enough time to let his thoughts and feelings, his considerations, and ideas, etc. unfold, so he can ascertain everything, and can find the conclusions and the truth within himself. Every human being must be intent on fostering interpersonal relationships, to devote attention to familial relationships as well as friendship, comradeship, and acquaintances. Parents, brothers and sisters, friends, acquaintances, and the fellow human beings in general must always be a source of joy and of peace, in the form of a freedom which has a unifying and expanding effect in each and every way. Every human being must always be intent that life will impart to him a sense and a feeling of being secure and protected to him. This must find expression both in the company of fellow human beings and when being alone, aloneness. Every human being must shape his life by creating events so as to find in it love, happiness, joy, peace, harmony, balance and freedom. Every human being who wants to live according to reality must give to himself a sound sense of self-esteem and self-confidence and preserve it. In this way, regarding oneself, healthy, self-sustaining, and progressive thoughts, feelings and actions can be best realized. Every human being shall at all times behave in a decent and virtuous manner, and also in regard to his work and opinion, his knowledge and his learning, in such a way that he will be recognized and respected as a true human being in his nearer or further surroundings. Every human being shall live his life in such a way that after having passed away, good memories result from his life which let him live on in good thoughts posthumously. Every human being shall live in such a way that the fellow human beings take an interest in his life and honor him in their thoughts and feelings. It may well be that there are enemies who take interest in evil ways, but they shall be forgiven, because peace and forgiveness shall be the work of love, not hatred. Every human being shall feel embedded into the good company of fellow human beings in order that a common experience of life may promote love, peace and freedom, as well as harmony and the happiness of each individual. Every human being shall be eager in such a way as to let develop that in his life, which is thoughtful, feelingful, as well as spontaneous and full of love in a feeling-like manner. So it is given that every human being's life finds new, good, pleasurable and positive directions again and again, both spontaneous and also well considered in many ways. Every human being shall in every respect strive throughout his whole life to fulfill it, with learning and gathering knowledge, with working for wisdom, with performing satisfactory work, with true love and harmony, as well as through being intent on keeping peace and freedom. Every human being shall always be open to all things, so he may constantly find much that is mysterious and exciting in his life, that which brings him surprise and astonishment, perhaps even robbing him of his breath in joyful shock and letting him be forever young. Every human being shall always foster an open, good, loving, peaceful, harmonious, and liberal relationship with all human beings, even if they are hostile towards him. As a rule, hatred doesn't harm the other person, but the hateful person himself, because taking satisfaction in hatred becomes his own disgrace. Every human being must always be open to questions about the meaning of life and the human being's existence, and he shall be in need of them, so as to ponder and to talk about them with his fellow human beings, to gain cognition of truth therefrom. Every human being must have the feeling and certainty that he can communicate and explain to the fellow human beings that is important to him, and in return understanding is given to him. Every human being must have the feeling and certainty that his fellow human beings do understand what depressions and burdens him, and that he may expect useful advice or some other help. Every human being shall lead his life openly in such a way that it is of use and an advantage for himself in every positive way, and also for his family, his relationship as well as the community. Every human being shall be intent not to avoid problems and conflicts, but to search for solutions for them and to overcome them. Every human being has the obligation to build up sufficient self-confidence and healthy self-esteem so he can meet and master all tasks and difficulties that arise in life. Every human being shall always make an effort to not let himself be upset, feel uneasy nor become unsure by any tensions that appear within himself or his fellow human beings. Every human being shall strive to shape every situation in his life in a conscious and carefully considered way, if this opportunity is given to him. Every human being shall form himself in such a way that he doesn't fall victim to shattering thoughts and feelings through unclear, confused, and unpleasant situations. Every human being must always be forearmed to meet thoughts and feelings of reluctance in a relaxed way, in order to deal with them correctly and not to be at their mercy. Every human being shall endeavor to communicate with his fellow human beings in order to express his own attitude and to represent his own opinion or learning interests. Every human being shall determine goals in his life that he shall strive for and achieve with forethought, attention, interest, motivation, and self-confidence. Every human being must consider his life worth living in every situation. Every human being must always determine his behavior by himself, and not by external circumstances, nor by fellow human beings or by religions, sects, philosophies, science, or other ideologies.